Hello, hello. Welcome to our McPherson College Homecoming Huddle. Today starts Homecoming 2020. We're kicking it off and we're so glad that you are all joining us in real time or through the recording later. You have just been enjoying music from our MC Drumline. And that actually, they'll also be featured in a sneak preview video at the end of this session. So you'll want to stick around for that so we can all watch together. So this afternoon, I have President Michael Schneider, along with almost all of our McPherson College Alumni Board members, and they're joining us from across the country as they meet today to reconnect with the college. So at this point, I'm going to invite all of the alumni board members who are on the call to go ahead and start your videos, and you can turn on your audio when it's appropriate. I want you to just really quickly introduce yourself, share your name, your graduation year, and where you're joining us from, where you call home right now, just so that everyone else that's participating in this call can get a sense of who all is with, who represents them on the alumni board. So Glenda, you're the person immediately to my right. I'm gonna get it started with you. Oh, you're still on mute, and we might need to say that a few times during this introduction.
There we go. All right. I'm Glenda Sims. I'm class of '83, and I live here in McPherson. I've lived here for 39 years now. So I'm a retired teacher. My husband works for CHS. I've been on the board. This is my second term, so I'm guessing about 5 years.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Glenda. We'll move on to Lane Allison.
Good afternoon. My name is Lane Allison, class of 2012, and I live in McPherson as well.
Perfect. Thanks, Lane. Rebecca?
I'm Rebecca Shippert. I was Rebecca Grossbaugh. I'm the class of 2010. Currently live in Imperial, Nebraska with my husband, Brian, who's class of 2008.
Fantastic. All right, go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, I'm Logan Sherrod, class of 2018. I also live in McPherson with my wife, Maddie, who is class of 2019. So.
Awesome. Kyle?
Thanks, Monica. I'm Kyle Smith, class of 2013, and I am up in Traverse City, Michigan, here in my garage because it's the warmest part of this cold state.
Yeah, those aren't fake cars behind Kyle. Those are real. Linda, why don't you go ahead?
Hi, everybody. I'm Linda Flores. Graduated this year, 2020. Originally from New Jersey, now living in Connecticut.
Fantastic. Jasmine?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jasmine Helms, and I graduated in 2017, and I joined the board in 2019. And I'm calling in from Gainesville, Florida. So yeah, it's great to see everyone.
Awesome. Go ahead and say hi, Liz.
Hey everybody, I'm class of 2009. My husband is Jeff, is class of 2008, and we're in Pratt, Kansas.
Excellent. Diane, who is the current president of the Alumni Board, go ahead and say hello.
I have to stop and thank everyone else is introducing themselves as being from the class of 20-something. We have to go back to the 1900s. 1981 was my graduating class. I live currently in Mays, Kansas.
Fantastic. Myron, go ahead.
I'm Myron Munker, class of 2019, and I currently live for about a year in San Jose, California.
Awesome. Leslie?
I'm Leslie Bray. I'm class of 1992. My husband Ted is also 92, and we live in Colorado.
Perfect. All right. And Omar, go ahead.
Hey guys, my name is Omar Morales. I'm class of 2004. I joined the board last year, and I'm calling all the way from down south Texas.
Fantastic. And I see that Eric Vogel has popped on as a video. I'm not sure you know you're on video, but go ahead and say hello. He's an alum as well.
Eric Vogel, class of 98. I'm the Vice President for Advancement here at the college, and my welcome to all the alumni board members today that are participating from all across the country. Great to have you on today's huddle.
And my apology for that loop. Eric is sitting across the desk from me. And so, yeah, that's why you're hearing us twice. So, yeah, so we're going to hear a lot more from the alumni board and especially from President Schneider very soon. But before we do that, how we're going to kick off this huddle is with something really, really fun. We have created a 10-question round of the game Kahoot for all of us to play together. And so if you've played Kahoot before, you'll know a little bit. But if it's brand new to you, this is a way for us all to play some fun McPherson College trivia in real time, and you're going to be competing against one another. So in just a moment, I'm going to share my screen, and on my screen are going to be instructions to join the Kahoot game. You'll want to do that with a mobile device if you can. It's going to be the best way to do it. And I'm just trying to field many different screens. I want to get this up as soon as possible so you can all start logging in. But just as a heads up, when you join and you're playing, the answers are going to be on your Zoom screen, but you're going to be answering on your mobile device. That's where the magic happens. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see the answers on your mobile device. You'll have to connect them with the right color and shape on the screen. It'll all make sense when we're playing. It's real easy. Let me get my screen share going here so you can see the game. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to www.kahoot.it. That's this website right here. You're probably going to want to do that on a mobile device. And then you're going to enter this game pin, and you can see it on your screen. So when you get to that point, enter that game pin. Then it's going to ask you for your name. If you want to be eligible for prizes, try to put a real name in there, because yeah, guess what? There's prizes for the top finishers, especially some real sweet McPherson College beanies. So those are going to be going out, but we'll put a prize package together for those that end up on the podium as part of the game. So I'm seeing a lot of alumni board members get signed in. Now I'm starting to see some faculty and staff. We purchased a Kahoot subscription that gets us 200 entries. So whoever you are, wherever you are, except for Kendra Flory because she proofread the quiz, everyone else, go ahead and get in to play this game in real time. So I'm seeing that we've got 13 signed in to play the game, and that number keeps growing. You can see all the names coming up here on the screen of the people that are playing. Now, alumni board who are on the Zoom call, you can play with your cameras on. We're going to keep your microphones off. So if you want to, you can play with your cameras on and everybody will see your expressions. If you prefer to turn your cameras off during the game, that's perfectly fine too. You can go dark. You can then make whatever gestures and sounds you want to make while you're playing. So yay, we're ticking up. I'm going to give it just another minute or so because I really, really want as many people as possible to get in here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play through one song from the drum line. This is gonna give us about a minute to go ahead and go to kahoot.it and then type in the game pin. I'm looking around, Michael's in, all right. I was like, if Michael's not in, whew. I think some of these questions might even challenge you, President Schneider, but we're gonna get some music going here in a moment, I think. Like I said, lots of screens up. So I know there's a lot more people on the huddle than are signed into the Kahoot game. So anybody else that wants to get signed in, we're gonna give you another 1 minute from when I start playing this song. So it should get going here real soon. Awesome, good. Ooh, yeah, we're getting some good names. All right, we're gonna get going. In 3, 2, 1. Remember, it's speed and correct answers. So we're gonna get this quiz started. Question number 1, in what year was McPherson College founded? And we gave you a little hint. Answers are 1875, 1887, 1902, and 1987. Go ahead and get your answers in. Two more seconds. Get an answer in, even if it's a guess. All right, 22 of you got 1887. Here we go. This is our first leaderboard. So Jamie is the one to beat. Question number 2. What anniversary of Miller Library is being celebrated in 2020? The 25th, the 40th, the 50th, or the 100th? Ooh, we've got a lot of answers coming in for that one. I'm glad you've been watching your homecoming messages. We have about 5 more seconds. All right, awesome. Most of you picked 50th, and it is the 50th anniversary. And we've got some people on this call who helped move books from right here in Beagley Hall to Miller Library. So Jamie's keeping her lead. Linda, who just graduated, she's coming up. Question 3, which is the first building constructed on the McPherson College campus? Harnley Hall, Sharp Hall, Carnegie Library, or the dormitory? All right, 5 more seconds. Got lots of answers in. Ooh, this one was a stumper. So those were all early buildings, but the dormitory is actually what became Fanistock Hall. But when it was built, it was called the dormitory. And then that was original Fanny. You all know there is a newer Fanistock Hall, then that no longer exists either. So yeah, 2 of you that got the dormitory right. So that totally changed the leaderboard. We have Tina now in first place, and Brenda Stocklin Smith is on a streak in second place. Next question, how many consecutive years has MC been named a great college to work for? The options are 2, 4, 6, and 8. All right, awesome. Correct answer is we have been named Great College to Work for 6 years running, and it's so appropriate that Brenda's at the top of the leaderboard based on that, because she does a lot of work in human resources to keep that going. All right, are we all ready? Next question. Who is the longest serving McPherson College president? President Sharp, President Binninger, President Hoffman, or President Schneider? All right, just a couple more seconds. Some of you were students while this person was president. It is President Paul Hoffman. He served the college for 20 years. And so right now he holds the distinction of longest serving president at McPherson College. So let's see about our leaderboard. Tina bumped up. Jamie, who's in student life, is right behind her, and Marty from facilities. Fantastic. But Michael he's coming up too. Next question, what car is being restored by McPherson College Automotive Restoration as their Concours project? So we've got a Packard, a Cadillac, a Volkswagen Beetle, or a Mercedes-Benz. Go ahead and give your answer. All right. Most people knew, though, Packards are pretty cool, so it would be awesome if we can get one of those going. So Jamie took over the top spot. Fantastic. Question number 7. What was the cost of tuition in 1913? $25, $60, $90, or $150? And this picture is not on campus, but it is a picture of the parade in McPherson in 1913. So I bet some college people were part of that picture. All right, $60. 9 of you got that right. Jamie's holding on, but we're seeing a new name. Andy's coming up into the leaderboard. Question number 8. Which NC football team is the most recent to win the KCAC? 2010, 2011, 2012, or 2013? And some of you on this call were around for these games this season. All right, woo, a lot of people got that right. 2010. Make sure to cheer on our football tomorrow night against Friends. You can watch it virtually if you haven't gotten sold out in-person tickets. And Becky Bowman's making her way onto the leaderboard. Fantastic. 9th question. Which McPherson faculty member is credited with creating the first synthetic diamond? Is it J. Willard Hershey, Jonathan Fry, Henry Jacob Harnley, or Harvey Neininger? We've got answers coming in. All right, yeah, it was actually J. Willard Hershey. You can see a display all about this at the McPherson Museum. For a few people that guessed Neininger, he actually did meteorites. All right, our alumni board member, Linda Flores, is coming back up onto the leaderboard. We've got one more regular question. Which alumnus designed the current Bulldog logo? Nathan Holdis, Cord Cunningham, Darren Donahoe, or Evan Hebert? Looks like a lot of people know this one. Feeling pretty confident. Answers are coming in fast. All right, 9 of you got Evan Hebert right. All of these were alumni that were finalists for the contest, but Evan is the one that created the current logo. Andy's popping up. Now this could change the whole ballgame. This is just for a bit of fun. We've got one bonus question, so let's go. Bonus, what is Dave Barrett's graduation year? 1975, 1990, 1992, or 2020? Answer fast, get it right. We've got 5 more seconds. Ooh, that was a bit of a stumper between 90 and 92. Hope Dave Barrett got that one right. All right, so in 3rd place is Becky Bowman. Congratulations. In 2nd place is Christy Hopkins. And in 1st place is Jamie Bieski. So congratulations to you all. We have Andy, we have Brenda Stockman-Smith. We have lots of others that have been playing along. So super, super fun. I hope you learned a little bit at Emerson College during that too. Maybe it gives you something to follow up on or to do some research. So we're gonna bring everybody back together again in this huddle, and I'm so excited to see that even more people have joined while we've been playing the game. So now, Michael, I'm actually gonna turn this portion over to you. I'm gonna encourage our alumni board members that are on to turn your camera back on. You can keep yourself muted unless you're answering or interacting and responding. For everyone else, you are welcome to share questions that you'd like to hear about from Michael or our other guests. You can do that through the chat feature, through the Q&A feature, however you want to. We'll get those incorporated into the conversation in a little while. But for now, I'm actually gonna just turn it over to Michael to talk with our alumni board members about what they're doing and what they're most excited about for Homecoming 2020.
Hey, thanks, Monica. It's great to have everybody with us. It's so fun to see everybody from the alumni board online celebrating homecoming. Special thanks to Monica and Eric for adapting in these challenging, interesting times we have. I'm going to share a few things from campus, and then basically, for those of you watching and following along, I'm going to do a little bit of an interview with our alumni board to give you some perspective of what they're thinking, how they spend their time, and again, where they see McPherson College going. We thought that would be fun to do on this Friday of homecoming. So I'll just start with some great news. So for the fourth year in a row, we have record enrollment at McPherson College. There's over 800 students here, 846 students, I believe, at McPherson College, between undergraduate and 22 graduate students. Really excited about that. I think when we shut the lights off here in March and we had to figure out how we were going to navigate the pandemic, the one concern we had really was around enrollment, and we did a fantastic job. The crew and admissions and everybody, honestly, on campus did a great job working virtually with students wherever they were at to get them back here this fall. Many of you have tuned in to hear about how we've been navigating. I would point you towards the mcpherson.edu/COVID site. I've got a journal that I've been doing. I've been journaling since March, and it give you a nice perspective, I think, of what we've been doing. I want to share some more good news. Our student debt project, which you've probably been reading about, is going really well. Started a few years ago with a small cohort. Last year was our first full year to scale it up with 70 students. And each group of students had mentors. They were focused on their budget. They worked. And the great part about it, even in a pandemic, those students reduced their projected average debt at graduation by $10,000 a student. That's a third of the national, they dropped it to 30% under the national average, which is just fantastic. And for those of you who know me, you've heard me talk about it. This is a project that has been really important to our community by design plan. It's been important to me personally, and it's been a lot of fun to see that. And to top that off, we have 170 students signed up this fall. We will have well over 200 students in the student debt project by the time we get to the spring semester. That's 20% of our student body, students from all different places in their college career, working with one goal: to graduate with little to no student debt. And so that's been a fun, fantastic project. Alumni board members, you'll get to hear more about that when we spend some time together a little bit later. Clearly, our student life, I think people get really curious, what are students doing? I'm on calls with friends and alums, and they're like, what does campus look like? Are students spending time outside? How's this work? Because of our health and safety protocol, we've had to adapt the way we do things. I'm really proud. I'm happy to see Jamie Piesky, our interim dean of students, online with us today. They've really had to adapt the way we do things. And so I would lift up our student government and our SAB leadership for the work that they're doing, modifying clubs and meetings. But there's just been a lot of stuff going on outside. So movies are in the park this year. And we have lots of outdoor things like color runs. We had a register to vote day that was held outside. In addition, we recognize that it's a challenging time for students. They still want to get out and compete. So we created something called the 2020 Yard Games, which is like a kind of modified version of Campus Blowout with the teams and all of that excitement, but it's based around yard games. That's been a lot of fun. Our adventure program, Adventure Tony, for those of you who haven't heard, you can check it on the website. We've got a whole series of adventure programs out there where students can work with Tony to find a great trail to hike, a river to float down, places to fish, things to do outside, whether that's right here in McPherson or out in the greater state of Kansas. And then finally, I'll just share that I'm really pleased with the work Student Life is doing across campus to engage students in discussions around diversity and inclusion. That work doesn't stop in a pandemic. Clearly, the world There's a lot going on in this world, and we want to make sure our students have a safe place to talk and discuss that topic. And so Student Life had several dialogues this last fall where students could do that. And then finally, just let me share some of the cool things that are going on for homecoming. We've got several class reunions. I'm excited to be in every one of those that are going on. Class 65, 70, 80, and 2000 are all hosting reunions. We have volleyball, soccer, and football games going on campus this weekend, limited seating and tickets. So if you're interested, you want to make sure to do that. And then lots of virtual events. So we're live streaming our theater event, our Miller Library 50th anniversary, and then our choir concert on Sunday. So let me just transition, and we're gonna stop here at the end, and I'll answer any questions that any alums or anybody on the line has. But I thought we thought that this would be a nice way for alums and folks out there to kind of see what's going on in the alumni board and get their perspective on things. So I'm going to pose the first question and see who would like to answer it. I'm wondering what does it mean to be on the alumni board, and how does it help you stay connected to McPherson College and your classmates? Somebody want to pick up on that?
Being on the alumni board just helps me keep connected. It gets my excitement going again for the college. You know, my day-to-day, I don't always think about the college, but then when I connect again with the alumni board, I was like, oh, I wish I could be back there again. That's so much fun. So that's what it means to me for being on the board.
Others want to chime in?
I know for me personally, I interact with a lot of restoration students on a regular basis just for work. And it's always entertaining to have some small campus update that I can chip into that conversation. And a lot of the times to have something that's not necessarily already been shared on social media or that they might not have heard from another source is always great. So it's an inside line to something there at Mac that we can't really get any other way. And I enjoy sharing that out to everyone else.
So everybody needs to know Kyle works at Haggerty. Haggerty's got a special place. Lots of grads there. It used to be, I remember when I would run into folks at different automotive events, they used to say, you know, if you want to work at Haggerty, you have to go to McPherson College. So we love that. How about, let me ask what initiative, priority, things that the alumni board are working on to build up that relationship between McPherson College and the alumni. Somebody share a little bit about what you all are working on.
Yeah, I think that one of the major things is we've obviously had the opportunity to work with the wonderful Monica Rice and doing that for now 5 years in this role. And I've been on the board for 3 years, but really getting to see her take it and continue to build the board and be very aware of what our representations are, where we're coming from, our backgrounds, even the interests we had in school, and making sure that we know that McPherson College has a large footprint across the United States and not just Kansas. And so really trying to find ways to keep connected and have representation across the United States to be able to then go ahead and have, of course with COVID, but have gatherings and things, you know, in Colorado, in Texas, in California, wherever. And then also she's done a great job too of really building up the social media presence that the alumni has been able to be connected through. And so really encourage people that if they want to be connected, there's a lot of updates there. They send out the newsletters as well. And then as we try to continue to build the alumni board, is have that representation from your class or whatever to reach out to and really want to bridge that gap of people looking for information.
Thanks, Logan. I'll just remind everybody who's on with us, if you have questions, you can put it into the question and answer, and we'd be happy to answer those and come back to those. So I'll toss another one out there. What are you hearing about McPherson College that gets you really excited? What are you excited the most about?
I can speak for myself, and I think the biggest thing for me is the debt project. I think that coming out of college, one of the biggest things is being uncertain where you stand, especially with the financial situation that we're at. And I think that that is awesome. I'm totally for it. I love it. I wish that there was something like that when I was back in school, because that is one of the biggest concerns for any graduate, you know, coming out of college with a big debt and then trying to manage a career and pay back and do that. So to me, anytime I hear that we're lowering the number and students are coming in with less debt, to me, that's very exciting.
Others?
I also would have said the student debt project, but I'm also really excited to see where the health sciences track goes. I mean, that's not something that I probably would have gone to McPherson College for, but I think it's great that you're like expanding your horizons and just, I don't know, I feel like there's so much potential there that is being tapped into. So I'm really excited to see where that goes. And obviously last year we got a tour of the clinic and I thought that was so cool. So, I mean, yeah, right on, you know.
Jasmine, I can always count on you for a good, I failed to mention this. I had it in my notes and I failed to mention it, but one of the cool things about the health science program, which in a lot of ways, the design of that program was modeled after our auto restoration program, where we're working with a broad-based, well-rounded degree that students can take out into the big healthcare field. And one of the signature elements of that program is our health science scholars. So these are the students who come into the program. We had 7 of them come in this year. They're almost full ride scholars. They go out into the community to do outreach. The idea that health is much more than fixing sick people and that there's engagement. So the Kansas State Fair was canceled this year, like many state fairs. And our health science scholars went out to MCDS and put on a mini state fair for the clients at MCDS. And it was a really a cool, neat thing. And the students got a lot out of it. And it was just a great community initiative to see the other sides of healthcare. So that's a really good one. Anybody else want to mention points of pride, we'll call them?
Well, I was happy to hear.
Oh, go ahead, Linda.
Okay.
Go ahead, Linda.
And then Myron and then Leslie.
Okay, well, I was just happy to hear that enrollment is holding at 800 people, being the most ever. I think that's pretty exciting because I know with the COVID going on that a lot of colleges and universities are struggling. And so I'm happy to hear enrollment is up. So I think that's good news.
Yeah, very good. Myron.
First thing I like to say is the football team looks good, so I'm proud of that. You know, them guys looking like they're doing a pretty good job. So, and we beat Sterling, really bad. So that was great. Second thing was,
And Tabor.
Oh yeah, that's even better. You know, I'm real happy to see that. I'm hopefully they get a big win. The whole racial climate things that's happening in the country, and I'm really proud of McPherson of being proactive in getting students, you know, not just aware, but speaking to them about, you know, the things that happen, because we do have a very diverse student population. So obviously, you know, students there would be affected by what's going on. So I'm really proud to see student life and faculty and everybody else taking the time out to really push, awareness to not only the entire student population, but the community as well.
Thanks, Byron. Leslie.
I'll just echo what Glenda said on the enrollment. That's really exciting for Ted and I to see. And the other number that you didn't mention was the retention rate being so much higher. Ted and I talk about all the things the college is doing right. I mean, we loved our college experience at McPherson, but it's just seems like they're doing even more things right when you look at the enrollment and the retention.
I'm going to transition one more question. All right, so you can share your favorite tradition. What do you get? You know, what are you looking the most forward to this homecoming weekend?
For me, it's the tailgating in the football game.
Others, what are you looking forward to?
You know, my favorite parts of homecoming were always, like the theater and the choir concerts and all of that stuff. So I'm really interested to see how all of that works.
Yeah, I will tell you, and I'll make one correction. I misspoke. I apologize. The concert on Sunday is a music concert, so it will be vocal and instrumental. So I apologize. That was my bad. So others, what are you looking forward to?
I think being able to do it all. I mean, I can do the art ray, I can watch volleyball, we can watch football, we can see the choir concert, we can see the theater, like we get to participate in all of it. Whereas before, you know, your time might have been a little bit broken up, but this way you could experience all of homecoming.
Thanks, Liz. Yeah. Others?
I'm really glad to see that reunions are continuing. It's not ideal to have it virtually, but having it is the important part, and just allowing everyone to see each other, whether it's in person or on a screen. That's valuable to have those connections. So I'm glad to see reunions are still taking place this year.
Thanks, Lane. Let's bring Monica back on and see what questions we have from others who are on the Zoom. What else do we need to mention, Monica, or what other questions have come in from?
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen questions, so I will encourage, we still have about 30 people on that are not on screen. And so I'm happy to hear questions from any of you. Alumni board, if you have a question for Michael that you think everyone would be interested in hearing the answer to, feel free to pose that as well. But I did want to offer just a quick apology that Don Ziegler is part of the call, but I hadn't noted his name. And so he's just been sitting back and watching. But Don, who is a class of 79 grad, is on the alumni board in Pennsylvania. And so I also just wanted to say that Dawn loves the emphasis on community. When the question came up just about what's exciting about McPherson College, wanted to get his voice in there because he sent that. And then I'll also just note that a couple of other alumni board members that weren't able to join us are John Davidson, class of 2012, Teresa Miller, class of 83, and Stephanie Meyer-Ritz, who is class of 91. Just to help you all know, if there's an alum, if you have a question or a concern or a suggestion, some of your alumni peers are really the ones to go to and chat about that with, and they can help connect with us. So we've really worked to try to have lots of different classes and different geographical locations represented. So yeah, so I'm not seeing any questions come in. Alumni board, is there anything you would just love to hear from Michael about? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I should have prepped you for that.
Michael, I want to hear more about the mentoring program. I hear that it's really grown this year.
Oh yeah, the Student Debt Project. One emphasis that we have on that is it's a cohort model, so they're in groups of anywhere from 3 to 6, and they have a mentor. And so given our limitations this year on how this year might look, we wanted to make sure that Debt Project students had a real consistent go-to for meetings. And so we moved it to Zoom, which allowed us to expand the Debt Project mentor opportunities across the country. And so again, our project is not focused on people who are financial experts. It's folks who want to support and pour themselves into our students and help support them to be more financially healthy. And so we've got a few more. I think we got around 40 mentors from around the country who are supporting the Student Debt Project. And honestly, I think most of them are having just as much fun as the students doing it. So yeah, it's fun to see. The other thing Leslie mentioned retention, and I didn't talk about it. We did have a small increase in retention over the last year. One of my favorite things about the Student Debt Project is the fall-to-fall retention of all the students who are in the Debt Project who actually came back to McPherson College. So forget about whether they're still in the debt project or not. Most of them are, but this is how many actually came back. 87%. 87%. I mean, this program is making an impact on McPherson College in a really good way. So thanks, Don. That's a really good point. And a great commercial for our alums out there who are interested in helping out. So.
Yeah, I will hop in. I have a question from Jean Hendricks, and it's I'll expand it to be a bit more of a question and a comment. Jean is asking, how many COVID positives are we dealing with on campus? I'll expand that to say kind of how have things shifted based on COVID. And just as a reminder for everybody, we do have 3 Huddle recordings from the past 3 Huddles, and those really dig into a lot of the bits and pieces about safety and COVID. But certainly, Michael, I think everybody would appreciate hearing an update.
Yeah, quick update. And again, mcpherson.edu/COVID. There's a lot of stuff for people who are interested, like how's McPherson College dealing with it. First, I'll say I am so proud of our team and the work that they're doing. And so, things are going well. We're following a very strict health and safety protocol, and we are modeling the behavior. So our faculty, staff are modeling that behavior. Masks are keeping students out of quarantine. They're keeping us. That's an important part of our protocol, as you can imagine. We're socially distancing in the classrooms, finding different ways to do things and function. So we've had 5 total cases. We have, I think our last active case will not be active after today. So I think we're either at 0 or 1 active cases. We've had only had a couple cases that have actually affected campus where we have to quarantine folks or isolate folks. Students who test positive are isolated off campus, so they're not actually on campus. And one thing I would tell you that I'm really proud of our students, if they have any symptoms, they let us know and we send them over to our clinic. Jasmine mentioned that we have a brand new health clinic here, Partners in Family Care. Paul and Marla Olaminik are 2 of our very favorite alums, along with Ashley Paulson over there, who help us, and they check students out and either decide whether to test them or not. We're testing as many students as we need to, and they self-quarantine until the result comes out. Any student who's exposed to the virus, and that hasn't been very many students, they have a mandatory, the state of Kansas has a quarantining process that they have to go through, whether they test positive or negative, which is no different than most other states. So again, I'm really pleased with campus, and I guess the best thing to do is we're finding a way to make it work. We're actually in a lot of areas finding ways to thrive, but I'll be honest, it's hard. It's really hard. You all know, some of you sent kids off to college. You can imagine what it's like, because we do pride ourselves on creating community interaction. It's a very intimate experience here at McPherson College. And when you're trying to be socially socially distant and then trying to stay connected, it can be really hard and it's tough. And so we're working to do the best we can to navigate through it. But so far, I give us really high marks, and it really does take an entire campus to pull a year off like this. And so again, thanks to all of our friends and alums for all the good thoughts, the vibes, the prayers, all the notes and things that you've been sending our way, thinking about us, because it is really tough, not only on our students, but also on our employees, because I don't know if you've ever tried to hit a curveball or whatever the equivalent that is in your life. It's like trying to hit a curveball every single day. You're learning it all over again. It's just so different and it changes. And we're trying to navigate this thing where, everybody's accepting the reality of the situation at different paces and in different ways. And so trying to understand that folks who think, oh my gosh, this is just way too much, to be patient with them, and folks who are nervous and scared and worried, to be graceful with them. And that's been our formula since March. And I'm really glad I work on this campus. So.
We all are too. So I'm gonna say thank you so much to our alumni board, and you're welcome to turn cameras off and just hang out for the next few minutes. But thank you, thank you, thank you for being on and for sharing. Michael, I'm gonna just ask, is there anything more that you would like to share before we wrap things up?
No, I would just tell you, it is so fun to see the alumni board and to be able to interact with them in this way for the greater alumni to see. I know we're in a pandemic. I know this is tough, but we're here. We're doing well, and you need to remember it is a great day to be a Bulldog. So thanks for joining us.
That is perfect. So just a reminder, don't hop off this call. We only have a couple more things to say, but we are going to have a special sneak peek at the Art Ray 5K virtual video. Now you might go, what does that mean? Oh my gosh, it is an amazing video shot by Joe Isaacson, our 2020 McPherson College grad, who's a videographer. And you will see special places around campus and the town, and even more importantly, you'll see a lot of special people. So I want you all to stay on to watch that video together. It's 5 minutes. We've sent it out to all of the people that registered for the 5K. We told them they were going to get exclusive first viewing, but you all are going to see this earlier than nearly anybody else, and it's just a lot of fun. But before we transition to that, before we transition to that, I'm just going to say, please, please, please visit the homecoming website early and often this weekend, www.mcpherson.edu/homecoming. All of the digital releases will be released to that page. We'll be sharing as much as we can on social media, so you'll also have opportunities to click through in that way. But honestly, the webpage is the very best place to see things like the theater release that's going to be coming out early evening this evening. Lots of fun releases tomorrow, including a campus tour that was shot by students, including a web page that will celebrate Miller Library, the release, the press release for the Hall of Fame inductees for this year. And then I just want to make, Michael, you addressed this, but just circling back, the music concert on Sunday, we're so excited to promote that. That is actually only bands. There are 3 different bands that will be involved in that concert: the drumline, the jazz band. And so, yeah, we're excited about releasing that on Sunday as part of a long, long tradition of music concerts on Sunday afternoon.